I was browsing the YouTubes and I was watching some top 5 Wednesday videos, and this week the theme was male protagonists, and a lot of people were struggling in their videos to pick top 5 male protagonists because they didn't really read them. And I thought that was kind of interesting because as I sat and thought about it, I realised that me personally, I read mainly male protagonist and male point of view books. The books that I've currently recently finished, currently reading, the books I've bought recently, and the books that I read last year, mainly male protagonist. So I wanted to talk about it.
Stop.
I think the reason that a lot of people on BookTube in particular are reading mainly female is because it's no surprise to anybody, a lot of people on BookTube read a lot of YA, and for some reason a lot of YA is female orientated. A lot of the YA is kind of written by women, and if it's not written by women, it has a female protagonist, and they're usually between the ages of about 15 to 17, and they're nearly always female. There will be a male in it, but if it's in the first person, it's usually female, and even if it's not if it's in the third person, it's usually female with a male companion who is kind of the secondary character. And I wonder why that was. It's kind of really interesting because it's completely contradictory to movies, because in big action movies, big dystopian kind of movies, the protagonist is pretty much always male, but in books lately, in YA, it's nearly always female. And is that a kind of, is that a connection? Is that why authors are writing female characters like that? Because it's mainly being male and they want to show that females can be badass too? Is that the reason behind it? But I feel like it's got to a point now where the males aren't the majority in books anymore. It's females, and maybe that's just in the YA genre, or maybe it's in genres overall, but I don't, why is that? Are more females reading than males, and is that why the literary industry is going down the route of writing more female characters, because they want to appeal to that demographic? Is that why they're doing it? I don't know. And then I thought about it and I realised that if they're trying to extend the female demographic, and by doing this they're writing more female characters, do the authors believe that only females can only really relate to female characters? That seems really interesting to me, and I was wondering, I'm asking you guys, what is it in a book that draws you to a book? Are you drawn by the character? Because I don't think that is the thing that initially draws us to a book. To me personally, it's the plot, maybe like the cover, how it seems, if I've heard anything about it, recommendations, if it was a film or whatever and I hadn't read the book, or if an author that I like has written a book, then that's what draws me towards a book. But if I read the blurb and it said 17-year-old girl, and I was like, I am a 17-year-old girl too, that's not initially what draws me to a book. In fact, I prefer it when it's not a 17-year-old girl. I prefer it when it's a 40-year-old man or a dog. I read a book recently that was from the point of view of a dog, and it was one of my favourite books I read that year. It was called The Art of Racing in the Rain, and I loved it, and it was from the point of a dog. So I don't really believe that gender of a character is important at all. I actually end up relating to a lot more male characters, and I think that's why I read more male protagonist books. Authors, a lot of YA authors, write females and add in all the love triangles and all the romance, because that's what they believe that the female demographic want. And then when you have to name a classic with a female protagonist, you'll think of Jane Eyre and Elizabeth Bennet and kind of the Bronte books, and they're all, of course they have other factors, but all of those are kind of romantic books. That's kind of stuck, because a lot of romantic books written now are from the female's perspective, which, that's kind of happened throughout time. It's gone from Jane Eyre to Stephanie Perkins writing Anna and the French Kiss. It's still the romantic, a lot of romantic books are written primarily from the female's point of view. But it's not just a stereotype anymore with females and romance, because a lot of YA books are written dystopians and action, and they've still got the female protagonist. And is that kind of a stab at gender stereotypes? What I found quite interesting as well, and something that was quite relevant, is the gaming industry at the moment. And I think it ties in a sense with the whole kind of gender, character kind of dispute. Is that a lot of gamers at the moment, a lot of male gamers are saying, I don't feel comfortable playing as a female, and that's why a lot of, pretty much the majority of gaming protagonists at the moment are male, and a lot of males are saying, yeah, I won't play as a female. If I had the opportunity to choose between a male and a female, I'd play as a male, I'd play as my own gender. Are female readers thinking the same as male gamers? Are they thinking, I won't connect to a male protagonist and I won't be able to kind of follow their story because I won't relate to it? If you think that, I want to know people's opinions on that. So if you agree with that or you disagree with that, I'd really appreciate it if you guys wrote comments of maybe what you read personally yourself. Do you read more male or female, or do you read 50-50? And maybe a comment why you think you do that, and just any other comments that you think are appropriate for this video, because I really want to know what other people think about this. If you guys want to continue the discussion or kind of add on to anything that I've said, or completely disregard what I've said because you think I'm an idiot, that's fine. I really just want to hear what you guys have to say. So leave your comments below, and I just want to get this discussion rolling. So yeah, that's great. Okay, so bye guys.